Hello everyone, my name is Doris. Welcome to Raising a Lion. I'm the mom. I'm the mom of four, and this is going to be me attempting to change my whole homeschool, the way I plan my whole homeschool schedule for 2023 to 2024 school year. A little bit info about how crazy and my background on how I usually plan school year. Before we started Ambleside, we were relaxed homeschoolers, so I basically pulled from different curriculum to see what worked for my family and each child, and I had worksheets. It was just like everything. I was doing everything, y'all. And I planned a whole 52 weeks of school for each child, and I have 3 at a time, and one of them wasn't even homeschool age. I had a little crate, and it had the name on it, had the sticker, the week on there, color code, everything. Okay, and I actually enjoy that. So that's my background of planning. And when I came to Ambleside, I was still planning a whole 3 terms out because I was planning crazy, and I think I still am. It just now with different stages in my life, I had to adapt. I am currently in the process of the divorce, so I had to adapt to that. And my husband moved to Florida, and I'm in Texas with the kids. And when the divorce is finalized, they are going to be spending time with him. They are likely going to be spending the whole summer with him. So I need to make sure I plan with the kids not having school for the summer, because I do not want them to go up there and the schoolwork is not done, and then the schedule I set in my head is not as I plan and just scratches everyone out, and I don't want to do that. So I had to figure out something else that worked for our family with what we're going through right now. And one thing we're not doing, we're not going to do a year-round homeschooler. So I had to figure out another way to work our schedule. And my family observed Sabbath. We observed Sabbath on Saturday. They used to go to church with Seventh-day Adventists on Saturday because that's how my husband grew up. But then decided to move to Sunday church the way I grew up. Decided to move to a Church of Christ. So we are Church of Christ right now. Well, at least the kids and I. We're a member of the Church of Christ in Texas. So we do go to church on Sunday, and on Saturday we still observe the Sabbath, because I was finding out when we started observing the Sabbath and going to church on Saturday, I wasn't observing the Sabbath at all, because I was busy taking care of the kids, making sure everybody had the clothes on, they looked great, they ate breakfast, they were clean. And by the time I'm done doing that, yelling everyone to get out of the house to get to the church, I really wasn't in church. I was trying to just breathe, and I really wasn't getting anything from that. I really wasn't relaxing. And then when we came home, I had to worry about dinner and all that stuff. So when we decided to move to Sunday, we decided to still keep observing the Sabbath and eat leftover, where I'm not doing anything. I'm actually spending time with God, which I haven't been doing lately, and stuff. My relationship with God right now, a lot of the time when I'm having a hard time, I'm having a good time, I go to God for everything for the last couple of years. But with everything going on with the divorce, I feel like I'm being closed off to God, and I'm not taking my problems to Him, just because I don't know how to talk to Him about everything that's going on, because I feel like I was on a rug and someone just pulled that rug on me, and I just let him flat on my butt, and I'm trying to get up and the floor is slippery, and I just can't find my footing. So that's where I'm at right now. So I don't know how to talk to God about that. So I feel like right now, as you can tell, I'm not in a bus. We live in a schoolie, and this surrounding does not look like a schoolie, because my oldest, who turned 15, by the way, 15, I have a 15-year-old, made it to the state final for the TAAF Summer Games in Brownsville, Texas. So we had a drive there, and I decided to take a 5-hour detour to visit my sister in Austin, which that was God talking to me, because where I'm sitting right now, this is her prayer corner, her time with God. This area, she just say her bedroom, it's a little corner. Now she have all the comfortable things she can think about. She have like soft pillow, even the carpet, it's like a pink carpet right here. And it's a very soft and fluffy, it's like so comfortable. She have a chair here that's like comfortable. She have a little card that she have a Bible, her book, pen, pencil, like anything she need. For her Bible study, she have different Bible study books up here, a lot of notebooks, her prayer journal for scripture writing. And this is where she just, every time she works, she spend an hour with God. Like, it's amazing, she spend an hour with God. And I just learned that she also planned dates with God in here. So she get a little dinner, and it's a date with her and God, and she just talked to God, and I just like, I'm trying not to cry, y'all, because I feel like God wanted me up here to remind me of my relationship with Him, to go to Him with everything. It just so okay. I'm gonna go to the plan of stuff and move away from talking about my relationship with God because it's a little rocky right now. But all I need from y'all is prayer, for me not to close off and just take my problem and my happiness to God and try to carve out time with God, because this is hard time in my life right now and I don't need to push God away. I need His help. So the planner, what I'm gonna be doing for the planner, what I'm trying to do is with the whole, I'm gonna go on it. I'm not gonna plan for the whole year because we're not yet, we're homeschooling anymore. I'm only gonna plan for one term per semester for Ambleside, and when they will have that 1 week off, after we do the exam, that's what I'm gonna plan for the next week. So I really do need your prayers for that as well. So let's go to the video part 1 of the planning. The first thing I do when I'm planning for my homeschool year is that I go to the Ambleside website to get a year schedule. So you're just gonna go to your web search engine, and then you're just gonna search Ambleside. And this is the home page. This is what's gonna come up. You're gonna have like things on the top bar, which is like the home curriculum. I go to the by year because we go to the by subject. It would just focus on a specific subject indoors. But I'm going to the year because I'm planning for the whole year. I'm planning for Madison. She is gonna be in year 3, so I'm just gonna click year 3. And it's going to pull this up. And on the right side, you're going to have the booklets, the schedule, and other resources. As you can see on the bottom, it says 2022 to 2023 pre-change book and schedules, is because AO just made some changes to the curriculum, like I think 1 or 2 changes, or I think for the year 3, it was the Bible plan that was changed. So they have the pre-change schedule in case you want to use that. But I'm going to use the changed one since she is going to be my first child in year 3. And then next year, I have my second child is going to be in year 3. That way I can just continue with the new schedule. So you're just going to hit the schedule, year 3 schedule. And it's going to pull up for you to choose your format. I always just choose PDF. And then just open to this right here. If you're using an Apple product, you should have the same layout as I do. Before I had my iPad, I would just print this out and then I'll work on it from there on my hard copy. But since I'm trying to incorporate digital planning into my homeschool year, I'm going to download this, and I'm going to hit the little square button with the arrow pointing up. It's going to put out some choices that I want to transfer this document to. So I could airdrop this, matches, mail, and so many options up here I can do. But I don't need any of those. I'm going to go all the way down, and I'm going to go to Open in GoodNotes. You can also import this into Word or 365 documents. But I'm going to open this in GoodNotes because that's the app I'm trying to use. And it's going to pop up here. I'm going to import it as a new document. Just random place. Okay, so this is what is going to show up. Now that it's in GoodNotes, I can do anything I want to do to this page. I can write on it. I can do highlighter. Okay, I can put boxes on there. You know, so that's one of the reasons I like this. So this is what I'm going to be using to plan for the year 3. I'm just going to erase these out. Okay, go back to the pen. So the after I download this, and even when I was printing it out, the first thing I would do and recommend you do is for you to go through the book list and see which book you have on the shelf, which book you have a digital, and which book you need to buy. If you don't do that, you end up buying multiple copies of things. The more you use Ambleside online, the more you're going to start memorizing books. And you're going to go to a used bookstore because, you know, we try to save. And you're going to see a copy of a book and you're going to buy it because you saw it on a list. if you don't have certain way of knowing if you have that book, you can have multiple copy. And I do. I have multiple copy of book because of that. So now I try to have a book list. I have my tablet with me every time I'm going somewhere in my purse. So it's easier for me to pull out and say, okay, this book is for year 3. Do I have it at home or not? And I can just pull this out and be like, okay, I already have it. I already planned it. I don't need it. Or when I'm shopping for the new year, so for year 4, when I start shopping, I'll just see if any of those books was used in year 3, and I'll know automatically I already have it because I'm doing year 3, and I won't buy those books and have multiple copies. So I'm just going to use the highlighter tool right here, and it has multiple colors up here, and it have like all these colors you can use for your highlighter. So I'm going to utilize this tool to try to color code stuff I have or not. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to have different categories. So I'm going to have, let's use the black pen, have digital to print, need to print. I apologize for my handwriting. It's not the prettiest you see, but I understand it, so that's all that matter to me. Okay, so then we're gonna go to highlighter, and I'm gonna do, this is I like that blue. So I'm gonna do the blue for I erased that out, but accidentally I can just hit that backwards button. But I need highlighter. I'm just gonna do blue for half, and then for digital, let's do purple. So digital for purple, and then to print, we can do gray, and to buy, let's do red as a, I don't know, contrast. So we're gonna do red to buy. So this is gonna be my color coding. So then after I have what color I want to use, I'm just gonna go through the book list, and I am going to color code them to give me an idea of what I need. I already bought some of these books when she was in year 2. I plan to buy some of these, so I should have 98% of these books. So we're gonna do the half first. So we're gonna zoom in. She has a Bible, so we're gonna have that. We have Children History of the World. I'm not sure. I don't think we have this country of ours, so I'm going to make that to be red. Okay, and then we have Island Story. We have this. Okay, so for books that I don't plan on using, or I'm using an alternate, like Da Vinci, I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna be using an alternate, so I can like just erase that out. As you can see, I'm using an eraser tool, and that is not erasing out because it's pre-printed. It's just a document I downloaded, so it's not gonna erase out. So what I do is I go to my pen tool, and I select white color, and then I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna white over that to give me a white page to write what I'm gonna be using, like the alternate they provide or anything I'm switching out for my purposes. So after I have that, I'm just gonna go to the black, and then I am going to write down what I'm gonna be using, and for that we're gonna use Michelangelo. And the reason I decided to use Michelangelo because it was the cheapest between the two. That's a lot of the time when I'm doing books, I try to find a cheap book or the cheapest, or more the cheapest book from the alternates, because a lot of time they have multiple books choices you can choose. And if I can't find that cheap enough, I try to do digital, or if I already have the digital, then I just don't buy it. So we're gonna be using Michelangelo for that. And then for Marco Polo, we are not going to be using Marco Polo. We are going to be using Amazing Geography, and also we're going to be using African Beginnings. African Beginnings is a really amazing book. If you don't have on your bookshelf, you need to think about getting if you're going to be teaching anything about African history. It's basically a book that
Um, it's a book that have all the African kingdoms, the civilizations of African country before colonization, before anything else. So you just have it have location of where those kingdoms were, to that you can try to find out to your current location, and it's just a very good introduction to African history, especially for African kids that need to know where it comes from and stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Put that in black. Then we're doing African beginnings and Mason geography. For the Mason geography, I think we're doing an indoor or outdoor geography. I'm not sure which one, but I got it from Living Book Press. They had a $25 sale last year that had a lot of books in there. I have that as a digital. And then we have this one. I bought that last year. I bought this at the book sale. Tall Tales, Parable of Nature, Heroes, Princess, Shakespeare's. And for the poetry, I printed that out. So then the next page I have is still the first term, because each term is 12 weeks. So it's planned by term 1, term 2, and all the way to term 3. And all of that is 36 weeks. This is a little bit different from me because I usually plan out a whole year. We usually are whole year homeschoolers, but this is going to be different because I just have a lot of things going on. So I'm going to try to just stick to 36 weeks and give myself time, a break and a kid's break. And also with how everything is going, they're probably going to be spending summer away from Texas. They're going to probably be in Florida with their dad, which is where he is right now. So when the divorce is finalized, they're probably gonna be spending summer with him. So I don't wanna plan homeschool stuff in the summer. So instead of us doing year-round homeschooler, we're just gonna switch to doing 36 weeks of homeschool. Okay, so for math, she is gonna be doing. Let me take that out. So for math, she is gonna be doing math mimic. And I have that as a digital file because I got like year 1 to 7 a while ago. So I just need to print that out. And then she's going to be doing Laugh of Fred as well. I'm going to alternate between those two. So I have Laugh of Fred. And then to print, I need to print that out. So that's going to be great. So I need to print that out. So that's what she's going to be doing for math. For handwriting, I'm going to need to print because we are going to be using, I already have the handwriting book and it's an actual book, but I want Sunny to use it next year. So I'm just going to copy that and let her use the copy instead of her writing on original. So that's why I need to print that. I'm trying to be safe. I'm cheap. And then for phonics, we use Alpha Phonics, and we already have that here. And for reading, I wasn't sure what I was going to use, so I went to the amazing group that if you're not in it, why aren't you in it? Is the Ambleside online Facebook group to search reading materials that people use to give me an idea. And one of the reading stuff that one of the mom posted was treasure hunt reading. And it's a phonics-based free reading curriculum. I went through it. I like it. I feel it will work best for her. So for reading, that is what she is going to be doing. And I just need to print that out because it is a digital file. So that's going to be to print. So for foreign language, I haven't decided if we're going to be doing Spanish or sign language. Dorian, can you lower your voice down, please? And we're going to be doing Spanish, or if she's going to be doing Spanish or foreign language. So I'm just going to put to print. I'll just do to buy. I don't know, to buy, I may just... I'll just put all the color on there because I don't know what I'm going to be using yet. She's probably just going to end up doing Spanish because her sister's doing Spanish. But then on the sign language, I have the material already, so we can just do sign language. I just haven't decided yet what she's going to be doing. And then for nature study, I need to print that as well because the group, like I just said earlier, and besides online group, amazing lady, I think her name is Maggie, posted suggestions of how to teach nature study, which is one of the things I was having issue with when I started using Ambleside online. Was how do I teach nature study? We go hiking a lot as a family, so I did that a lot, but I felt like I was missing some stuff when it came to nature study. So now with her latest suggestion, which is amazing, which is laid out, I actually have a plan on how I'm gonna be doing nature study and trying to get as much out for the kids as possible with her list. So I need to print that out. And then for timeline, I need to print that out too because I did got a book from the Living Book Press, $25. So I need to print that book out for her to do her timeline. For recitation, I was debating on her doing a Bible verse or poetry, but I decided not to do neither of those because I feel like with the Bible reading she have to do um, for this grade level, and our family devotion I would do every morning, and our scripture memory verse I would do every day, that she is going to have enough Bible reading for this year, school wise. And we go to church and do Bible study there. So I feel like we have that covered. And then with the poetry, she's doing poetry reading every day, once a day, and then a lot of the books have some kind of like poetry stuff in it, so that just canceled that out. So I would say what is important to me is what I want my kids to have a strong foundation, and I went back to the Constitution and the law and how things is written and run in this country. Because one of the issue one of the thing, not I guess not an issue, but one of the thing I noticed a lot when I'm talking to American-born citizens, like around 98% of the time, when I'm talking to American-born citizen and have to do anything with how the government is run, how law is set up, the Constitution, the amendment, the statutes that came from this Constitution, they really don't know how, they really don't know those stuff. They really don't know like what a government is actually allowed to do or what kind of right they actually have. What is actually a freedom of speech? What is the limitation of that? A lot of them don't know this stuff. So, and I know more about that, and I don't think, a foreign person should know more about your country than you do. Even though I have been here for 19 years, but I just feel like that's something every citizen should know, is how things are wrong. Because if you don't know what you have, that can be easily taken away. So for her, for recitation, she's going to start out with the Fourth Amendment. And then when she get a little bit older, we can, she can learn about what statutes came from those Fourth Amendment, what it actually mean for that. But right now, that's what she's gonna be doing, and then she's not going to end up falling into that crack, or any of my kids are not gonna end up falling into that crack of not knowing how this country is actually run and what kind of right they actually have. So if you haven't realized it yet, I do already have a constitution, so I would not need to be buying that. And then for geography, she is going to be doing the hot and cold from Charlotte Mason. So I already have that. Actually, that is a digital file I had from the $25 sales from Living Book Press. So that will be a digital right there. And then for picture study, I still need to print that out. So that's a gray. Oh Lord, excuse me. Excuse me. So I need to print that out. And then for join, we are going to be doing still life join. So we have that. For handicraft, she's going to be doing crochet. So we have her crochet pin. All we need is more yarn. And then for composition and folk songs and hymn, that is all digital because it's in a YouTube playlist. So we have that on there. And then for the free read, this is going to be my first year actually utilizing the free read. Our first year doing Ambleside online, it was just too expensive for me because I was starting out from scratch, buying all the books because we didn't have any of this book. I came from Reliance Homeschooling to Charlotte Mason Homeschooling, so I didn't have any of these books. So I had to start out first, so that was a lot of money, and I didn't have money to buy any of the free reads. And then the second year around, I just didn't plan it out. I just got lazy. So this year I'm gonna plan it out, that way we actually read these books. A lot of these books I already have it, so I'm not gonna need to be buying it, and if I don't have it, I'm going to try to utilize our public library for these. So I think these are 18 total, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9 times 2 is 18. Okay, so this is 18 books for 3 terms. This is not just 1 term. This is for 3 terms. So I'm just going to divide these by 3, and each term have 12 weeks and 18 books. That means we're going to be reading 6 books per term, and I mean one book every 2 weeks. So 6 books per term. So we are going to do some fun color. So for term 1 we can do pink. Term 2 we can do blue. Wow, I could have used this blue. Term 3 we can do green. So we are going to have and then I'm just gonna highlight that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is for term 1. Then term 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then term 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll just break that down, assign a book to her, and she can read it whenever during that 2-week period. So then I would just go and repeat it for my next term, my second term, and my third term. I'm not gonna do that because that would just make this video very long, and then I'm just gonna do that off camera, and I'm gonna come back for my next video that's gonna show you my next step in there. So thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video.